Hey, God bless.
Hey, God bless
This
everybody.
is John and Janice, and we are 2-in-1SS. And this is just a area where we like to share some of our thoughts, life experience, and some of the things that we go through as a married couple that we always want to encourage others. We think marriage is such a beautiful thing.
And we're super passionate about helping young marriages or even older marriages to keep their romance alive, to keep their marriage alive, and glorifying God through their marriage. And that's what we're most passionate about.
And so we want to address, we put a question out about some of the topics of interest that some people might be wanting to know or going through, and we were asked a few questions and we want to answer them and respond.
And it's how to keep the marriage healthy when having small kids. So
Very, very good question. Even there's some marriages that maybe have older kids and small kids, and so anyways, I would answer to that real quick, that some of the things that we do is that we try to be intentional. I know timing can be very difficult at times when it depends if you both are working or just one is working. Anyways, I know schedule gets crazy, and especially with the kids. In our case, we take our time at night. Once we put all the kids to sleep, we try to be intentional about our spending time together. We understand that it's important, and I believe we always say the more you invest in the marriage, the best things you will see in them. So
yes, so like how we're intentional about keeping our marriage healthy. We have 4 kids, so yes, we know that you can get really busy, and especially as moms, taking care of the kids all day and having small kids in the house can take up your time, take up your energy. They're soaking up all your emotions. So we as wives need to remember that our first person that we must go to is God. He is the one that gives us the source of our daily bread. And so aside from that, then our next person would be our husbands, that we are to tend to our husbands. Yes, we tend to the kids all day, but when our husbands get home from work, we're supposed to be tending to them. So we need to keep that intentional throughout our day. Maybe sending text messages like, hey honey, I miss you, I can't wait to see you tonight when you get home. Or having the food already done, maybe by lunchtime already start prepping your dinner, so that when your husband is coming home, you're not prepping dinner, you already have dinner made. I use the crock pot a lot, I use the air fryer a lot. Things that help me have things ready. And then as stay-at-home moms, well, I'm a stay-at-home mom, maybe you work, but we also need to be intentional about how we look when our husbands get home, that we're not all messy and crazy, and because they're outside working all day, they get home, they want to get to their place of peace and rest, and you want to make this place, your home, a place where they can just come, relax, release their stress from the workplace. And then I think being intentional about creating a great atmosphere in the home is one of the first things.
yeah, so keeping it healthy, as she said, is God first. Second, being intentional about your communication throughout the day. And lastly, just prepping up for when husband comes home, or if you come home as well from work. So I think it's about being intentional. Healthy marriage is healthy when you both are intentional about your marriage, and I think that is so key. Even for the husband, when you come into the home, you come in preparing, like dying to self and ready to serve. Help the wife out in areas where she might need help, so that way you guys can have your alone time. So I think those are very key things for us to understand and do, and be intentional about preparing our hearts for those moments. we can plan, right? The day might not go perfect. We're not gonna look great when we get home, or we didn't get to do everything we wanted to do. But I think the end goal is that we both understand what we want to do at the end. Like, we want to spend time with each other because we want to keep our marriage healthy. Sometimes some, not saying all, but some have habits of, everything is around their kids, and so when the kids are out, they don't even know what to do with each other. And so that's not healthy. And so we have to be intentional about that, and just making sure that throughout the day, throughout the time, there's some couples who even take weeks out, right? Like every Friday or every second Friday of the month, we're gonna go out and have people to help us with watch the kids. But if you don't do that, for instance, us, that's very hard to do with ministry and people watching our kids. It's just very difficult.
Having 4 kids, not everybody wants to babysit 4 kids.
Yeah, so
it's
in our
really
case,
difficult.
In our case, I would say healthy would be intentional with one another. Letting each other, you love each other, and trying to take that time at night. In our case, once the kids are put to bed, everything is done. It's our time. We are spending time. We talk. We watch something, whatever the case may
So,
be.
like, maybe some things might be putting your kids to sleep an hour earlier. Maybe switching the clock on the elevator or microwave, making them think that it's like 8 o'clock. It's bedtime. Having them have quiet time. Maybe say, hey, we're gonna have a movie night. If you guys are gonna have a movie night, you guys are gonna have popcorn, and have them have a movie night. And then meanwhile, me and him can have some time to talk, or we can have some time to watch maybe some Netflix episode we want to catch up on, or maybe have some quiet time together. Anything that you can do in the home can be very beneficial. You don't have to really go out. I think some of the best date nights are when we just, put the kids to bed early and we just put on a movie, or we read together, whatever is together, and then we have that time. I think some of the most intimate moments that we've had are when we're able to have really good conversations, like clear conversations, when I'm able to open up with him and tell him how I'm feeling as a woman inside, being a stay-at-home mom, or, anything that has to do with ministry or homeschooling, and then he's able to just hear me out, and those are some of the most intimate moments that we've had, when he understands how I feel.
For sure. So just encourage you. Find your way, find your time, talk about it, talk about your desire to have a healthy marriage. And once that's clear and you guys are both in the same page of desiring that, then the reason for that is because you want a healthy marriage. And so that healthy marriage comes again with being intentional about it. So we encourage you, pray for you guys, that you guys may be able to find that space to do that. I read this quote real quick that said, my best place is together. And I loved it. Very simple, and that together can be anywhere as long as you're together. So be intentional about that.